Hello and welcome back to the Azure DevOps course. In this lesson, we will start making our first YAML pipeline. We will in this lesson on explaining how to make a very basic YAML pipeline and what is the elements that you need in the YAML pipeline. Okay, so to make a YAML pipeline, we will click on YAML pipelines here and new pipeline. Then instead of using the classic editor, we will choose the repo, Azure repos, choose our shopping front end repo, and they click on starter pipeline. This starter pipeline is a pipeline pre-built by Azure that has a very basic script, which is echo and some text. So let's explain how the YAML pipelines are written. The YAML syntax consists of keys and values and lists. In the first, there is the trigger key. This trigger key is for the triggering method. So now, by default, it triggers on push. And here, this list, when you see this dash, it means it is a list. So we can write dash here and write the second element of the list. This value in the list is the value of the branch. So now this pipeline is triggered when there is a push on the main branch. This is the branch name. So that's the first thing, the trigger. After it, the pool. This pool is for the agent image. So inside the pool key, there is a key called VM image. This is the image name that we will use. So we'll use Microsoft hosted agent with the name Ubuntu latest. This is the Linux Ubuntu agent. So that's for the pool and the trigger. After that, we go on the steps. This pipeline runs in one job and in one stage by default. When we not explicitly writing the job or the stage, we have only one stage and one job. So even we are not writing the stage name or the job name key, they are existing. So each job in Azure DevOps has a steps. So inside the steps key, you can write a script or a task. A script here is a command line script, like echo hello world. So this uses the bash shell. So the script key uses the default shell in your agent. If you are using Linux, it uses bash shell. If you are using Windows, it uses CMD. So this script runs echo hello world, which outputs a text hello world, and runs with the bash shell because we are using a Linux agent. We can also, instead of script, we can make PowerShell step. The PowerShell step runs a script also, but using the PowerShell shell. Okay, so each job consists of steps. This step can be script, which uses the default shell, can be a PowerShell step. Also, we can use a task step. This task can be anything of the classic pipelines task. We can use like the .NET Core task for restore and for builds that we used in the classic pipelines. We also have here an assistant, so we can search for the tasks. This is a .NET Core task. We can use it like we have done with the classic pipeline. We put the parameters or the inputs of the task, and after we put the inputs, we click add. After clicking add, it writes the task format for us. So there is also a step called task, a key task, then the task name, and the task has an inputs key. This is the parameters that we fill using the GUI. It is written in a key value pairs. Command restore project *cln field use select. So the step can be script, can be PowerShell, can be a task, and we have a variety of tasks that you can search here. Most or all the tasks that is in the classic pipelines we can use also here. So that's very brilliant from Azure. Also, there is a trick you could use, which is generating the YAML pipeline from the classic pipeline. We can go to our classic pipelines, go here in the Azure DevOps Core CI, and now this is the classic pipeline tasks. We can go here on .NET Publish and click on View YAML. Here it generated the task in a YAML format. We can copy it and then pasting here. And please make sure the indentation is correct, because the indentation is very important in YAML format. You should take care when dealing with the indentation. Each step in Azure is written in a list format, so we must start with this dash. So let's try unrun this pipeline, save and run, commit directly on the main branch. Now it will make a file called Azure Pipelines.yaml in our repo. It will commit and push it to the repo. So the YAML file that contains the pipelines is in our repo. We can make the code review process and pull request process for the YAML files, make the validation of the YAML files before committing. So that's why the YAML has a better flexibility when dealing with the version control system. So save and run. And now the pipeline has finished and run successfully. And you can go here in pipelines. We can rename it YAML pipeline. We rename it with this name. So that's all for this lecture. We have learned the basics of the YAML pipeline. See you in the next lecture.